Nehemiah took place somewhere around 450 BC, but you need to know some history that happened a couple of hundred years before that. God had taken the nation of Israel and he had placed them on a chunk of real estate, the same piece of land that's called Israel today. God had given them this land, and he told the leaders at that time, he said, you know, if you're faithful and you follow me, I will be your God and you'll be my people. I'll bless you, I'll protect you, I'll take care of you, because I want all the people on earth to see a living example of what it means to be a person who loves God and follows after him. Sadly, even though God made them all these promises and God blessed them over and over again and warned them over and over again, they began to adopt the practices of the cultures to the left and to the right, and they began to worship other gods and worship things and money and power. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, Moses had predicted this centuries before it happened. The Lord will drive you and the king you set over you to a nation unknown to you and to your fathers. And there you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, and you will become a thing of horror and an object of scorn and ridicule to all the nations where the Lord will drive you. That actually happened about 600 BC. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of the Babylonians, came in and he destroyed the entire nation of Israel. In particular, he destroyed the capital city, Jerusalem. Just smashed it. The temple, the beautiful temple that had been built to worship God, utterly destroyed. The wall, the protective wall around the city of Jerusalem was just reduced to rubble. The gates were burned. The people were driven out. Most of them killed. Second Chronicles 36 describes it this way. They set fire to God's temple and they broke down the wall of Jerusalem. They burned all the palaces and destroyed everything of value there. The Babylonians came in and they smashed the whole city. And that's the way it stayed for a long time. In fact, the whole nation of Israel just basically disappeared for about 70 years. The first wave of exiles came back in about 530 BC. They rebuilt the temple and they cleared a lot of the rubble out of the way. But they never rebuilt the wall. And so there was no protective barrier to keep their enemies out. And there was no real way to keep their culture in. And once again, they started drifting away and looking at the ways the cultures around them were living and saying, that's a better way to live, and they were forgetting about God. Well, by the time we get to the story of Nehemiah, the temple's been rebuilt for 70 years, but there's still no wall. There's just a lot of rubble. And so Nehemiah is a story of somebody who said, that's not right. The people of God matter. The city of God matters. I can't just sit here and do nothing. Somebody needs to do something. There are a lot of things that God wants to do in our world today. There's a lot of rubble that needs to be cleared. The question is, are you and I going to be the kind of people who want to do something about it? If you've ever felt that tug in your heart, if you've ever said, hey, somebody needs to do something, then a study of leadership out of the book of Nehemiah is exactly what you and I need to hear. This is good stuff. It mattered in his day for the people of Israel. It matters today for you and me.